All right, what's up? What's up? What's up, guys? It's DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles, the DB Talking Now podcast. Happy Friday, everybody. Let's go ahead and get into some stuff. Obviously, the Philadelphia Eagles play the Dallas Cowboys tomorrow for the season finale. That's right. The Philadelphia Eagles play the Dallas Cowboys for the season finale on a Saturday evening instead of a Sunday afternoon because the football game was flexed. The NFL thinking that this was going to be an extraordinarily important game, and it is an extraordinarily important game. It still is that, but they might be entirely pissed off. Yeah, speaking of the NFL, just because there's a big chance that both the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles might not play their starters all that much. So what does that do? Well, it decreases the importance of the game completely a little bit. Let me just say this is there's no real I mean the reason why the Philadelphia Eagles would do that, obviously there's no real reason for them to actually play their starters in this game, to start their starters to risk the bowl of eggs, if you will. Because they've already clinched their playoff berth. As we all know, Philadelphia Eagles fans are already excited about that, expressing excitement throughout the week about that fact. We went ahead and clinched our playoff berth last weekend once we beat the Washington football team. The Green Bay Packers beat the Minnesota Vikings. The 49ers beat the Houston Texans, all of the above. So there's real no reason to play our starters in this game. And I'm kind of putting myself on that side of the fence as well. I these guys have played for games and less than about 24 days. So I think that they deserve a week. I think that they deserve a week off, if you want my honest opinion. But guys, I gotta. With that said, I do want to say this: there are some Eagles that I do definitely want to see play in this season finale against the Dallas Cowboys. Some of those guys, obviously, is former LSU cornerback Kerry Vincent. He was brought over. He was brought over in a trade from the Denver Broncos, and then also cornerback Tay Gowan, brought over in a trade with the Arizona Cardinals when we sent Zach Ertz over to Arizona. He's another cornerback that I want to go ahead and see on the field because he had a lot of potential coming out of college. He was one of those guys that I wanted the Philadelphia Eagles to draft. The Cardinals just happened to get their hands on him first, so I definitely want to see, if he has what it takes at the NFL level. Obviously we want to see more from defensive line Milton Williams. I want to see more from guys like Marlon Tuipulotu, honestly, because former USC DT who we drafted this year. Obviously, there was a lot of talk about him. They were really excited about him when they drafted him. So I want to see if he has what it takes. Obviously, he's got the size and speed to play at the NFL, but can he still use those things? Can he still use those things at the NFL level is going to be the question. So, I mean, he just needs more playing time, and I think more playing time to put more tape together to see what he can do, to see if there is a spot for him moving forward, or if the Philadelphia Eagles just completely need to redo and revamp the defensive line going into this offseason, because that is certainly something that obviously they're going to need to do. They're going to need to get an edge rusher or two, most likely two. But is the defensive tackle position a spot that they're going to need to really, really address early on in the draft, or is Marlon Tuipulotu going to be a guy that we can think about? Maybe Milton Williams, guys like that. Some other guys, obviously, that I want to see play is, I want to see Marcus Epps play a little bit more. I've liked what I've seen from Marcus Epps. Now I understand that he's kind of implemented himself into certain packages in the starting defense, and we do use him quite a bit. So he might not get that much playing time if they go ahead and rest their starters, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. Some other news and notes and reports around the league is that it doesn't look like cornerback Trayvon Diggs for the Dallas Cowboys is going to play in this matchup. So is that a big deal? Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. He gives up a lot of yards. So, so that's kind of not where the worry is there. But the worry is he is an opportunistic cornerback, defensive back this year. Obviously, I believe he's leading the league with 10 interceptions. And just started off the season really, really hot. Had an interception in consecutive games for some length of time. I'm pretty sure. He hit that 6 interception mark pretty quick. That's what I know. I remember. That's what I know. I remember from earlier in the season. So Trayvon Diggs, obviously an opportunistic defensive back for the Dallas Cowboys this season. Is Micah Parsons going to play? We will see. Is Micah Parsons going to play? We will definitely see. So I think he will. Here's the thing about the Dallas Cowboys is I think that they're going to play some of their starters in this game tomorrow. And I don't think that they're going to play all of them. It's interesting when it comes to, obviously when we get into situations like this, we ask ourselves, well, is the starting quarterback going to play? Is Jalen Hurts going to play? Is Dak Prescott going to play? The one thing that we do know is that Dak Prescott earlier in the week after the loss to the Cardinals, he said, I'm going to play, something along those lines. So, I mean, I know that Dak Prescott wants to play. I could see the Cowboys making the mistake and playing Dak Prescott and then Dak Prescott getting hurt, against the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll see. King says Cowgirls are losing players like crazy, man. Yeah, they are. And I just spoke about Trayvon Diggs, who's going to be out for this game tomorrow, which is going to benefit us a little bit because obviously he's an opportunistic defensive back. He does get his hands on the ball quite a bit. I believe he's at 10 interceptions on the season. King, welcome to the chat today, my man. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're having a good Friday. Happy Friday to you. And so we might be able to take advantage of that matchup depending upon what they decide to do, whether they're going to play their starters or whether they're not going to play their starters, whether they're going to play some of their starters or not play any of their starters. Who knows what's going to happen, but we'll definitely see what happens. And honestly, I got to be completely honest with you, is I think the Eagles have a shot regardless of who goes. You know what I mean? It's like I was listening to Barrett Brooks, on Bird 365, and I completely agree with Barrett Brooks. So I think that we have a shot to win this game regardless of who goes. Some other guys that I want to see is play a lot and get a lot of playing time in this game. Obviously, is going to be tight end Tyree Jackson. I think that once he puts it all together, I think he's going to be something really special. He's fast, 6'7", 265, something along those lines. I'm really excited to see if Tyree can go, or if Tyree is going to get a lot of playing time. So, we'll definitely see. But obviously, Miles Sanders is going to be out for this game. We know that. I think they're going to rest Jordan Howard. So there's going to be a tons of things. But I'm excited for this game. King, how are you feeling about this game as we move along and get closer to game time, the season finale for tomorrow? And it looks like it's going to be a chilly evening. No rain reported, but it's going to be a chilly evening at Lincoln Financial Field. So that's just a quick update on the weather predictions. Is Jordan Howard playing? Says King. I don't know. I haven't heard anything in regards to Jordan Howard. If he plays, I could only see him playing a little bit. I could also see them resting him too, just because he's still probably dealing with that stinger, But we'll see. Me personally is I'd probably rest Jordan Howard. I'd probably rest Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard and Miles. Obviously, Miles is going to be out, but I would rest Jordan Howard, and just let Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott do their thing. We don't really this game. It doesn't necessarily matter to us at this point. So, um, you know, do what we can. Do what we can with Boston Scott and Kenny Gainwell. Do what we can with Boston Scott and Kenny Gainwell. Some other good news, though, however, is the Eagles. The Eagles did go ahead and activate Jason Kelsey from the reserve COVID list ahead of the matchup for the Cowboys. Obviously, he was on it throughout the week, so that's good that we got him back and that his Iron Man streak does not have to come to an end. That is the good news. That is the good news. But I also want to bring this up too because Nick Sirianni did address the report that Gardner Minshew did ask him about the Eagles starting quarterback job. And Nick Sirianni said he is a competitor. He is locked in, whether he's the backup, whether he's playing. He's been in both scenarios this year with the Jets game, playing in that game, not knowing if he was playing in that game until late in the week. The guy is going to prepare like crazy, no matter what the situation, and he's competitive. Of course, every backup that we have on this team, if they didn't want to be the starter, I would have an issue. I would have an issue with them being the backup. So, I mean, that's kind of what you expect Sirianni to say. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, you should expect your your backups to want to eventually start and to compete, but that's neither here nor there. It just seemed a little. In my opinion, it seemed a little odd the way that Gardner Minshew the way that Gardner Minshew went about it. King says, "Who's all off the COVID list?" Because I haven't checked. I know that Jason Kelsey is off. Jason Kelsey is off the COVID list. Off the top of my head, I saw it yesterday. Let me bring it up. Yeah, I know that Jason Kelsey is off for sure. And I think Landon Dickerson was removed. Toxic Falcons, welcome to the chat today, my man. What's up? I think it's going to be about Calvin Ridley. Toxic Falcons says, DB, I got to tell you something crazy I heard today. Is about Calvin Ridley. Something tells me you're about to bring up Calvin Ridley and the rumors of Calvin Ridley going to the Philadelphia Eagles, which we will talk about. We will definitely talk about because I'm definitely interested in talking about that. Look, if the Falcons receive a call from the Philadelphia Eagles for Calvin Ridley and the Falcons just want a first rounder for Calvin Ridley, I would do it. He would immediately give you the production that you expected from Jalen Reagor. So, and he would draw coverage away from Quez Watkins. So there's that. There is that. By the way, I don't think people give Quez Watkins enough credit. Like, he beats man coverage more often than not. Dox Falcon says no. Okay, let me hear what you heard. That's crazy. King says, I don't want Calvin at all. I know that you want DK Metcalf. Toxic Falcon says, these Panthers fans are saying the Eagles are going to trade for a CMC because you got 3 first rounders. Interesting. Okay, so we can talk about this. I heard those rumors too. Um, Here's the thing. Christian McCaffrey was the top target for the Philadelphia Eagles in that draft. Then the Panthers went ahead and drafted him. I think the Philadelphia Eagles had the 12th pick. Christian McCaffrey went before then, I believe, something along those lines. Um, and so if so, I guess there's a slight hint, there's a slight chance, there's a slight, hibbity boo bah of a possibility to go for Howie Roseman to go get Christian McCaffrey because the interest might still be there, but I don't see it happening. Here's the thing is I think we're fine. Honestly, I understand, and Christian McCaffrey has shown that he's injury prone. Um, and trading one of those first round draft picks for Christian McCaffrey is kind of similar to paying a running back in today's day and age, $15 million per season. You just don't do it. So for that reason alone, I don't see Howie Roseman doing it, but I could see Howie Roseman doing it if he still has that dream scenario of getting a Christian McCaffrey. And we know that those rumors have been there, obviously, since McCaffrey got injured. Talks Falcons saying they are talking crazy. He's not even worth a fourth. Right. Here's the thing. My opinion is I think Christian McCaffrey is probably worth a second, honestly. I would put him up there. He's still pretty valuable. I wouldn't trade one of my first rounders for Christian McCaffrey, though. I just wouldn't do it. You just don't do. I mean, you just don't need to. I mean, they ran him into the ground, and he got a ton of injuries, and so the Philadelphia Eagles backfield doesn't really need to be touched. It really doesn't. I mean, if they go ahead and they resign Miles Sanders to a discounted price, which they have the opportunity to do because he's injured and he's shown that he's been injury prone. They have that opportunity now to go ahead and do that. And then they re-sign Jordan Howard, then they'll be fine. They don't really need to do much else. Both guys are top-notch guys, Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard. Talks Falcon says his contract is too much too. Yeah, there's no way in hell. There's no way in hell. They're talking. I think they're in La La Land, is what it sounds like. It sounds like the Carolina Panthers fans are in La La Land if they think that the Eagles are going to give up one of those first round draft picks for Christian McCaffrey, and that's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. But here's the thing. The crazy talk is going to start. And you're going to hear a lot of rumors when it comes to Philadelphia Eagles because they have 3 first-round draft picks. That's just the fact of the matter. It's going to start now, right? It's going to start now because some teams are not in the playoffs. Some teams' seasons have already ended. Those are some of the things that we already know. King says, "Oh fuck no, McCaffrey, that fool is always injured. I'd rather have Alvin Kamara. Also." I'm fine with Miles. And Jordan and Boston and Kenny Gainwell. Guys, Kenny Gainwell's going to be good. And here's the other thing too is I expect the Philadelphia Eagles to go into this draft. They're going to find somebody. They're going to find another running back in this draft that they can groom and develop. Just watch and go from there. We'll probably get another guy in the 4th round, 5th round, or something like that. Similar to the Kenny Gainwell situation. Kenny Gainwell was a complete steal in the 4th round, though. So there's that. He just dropped because he sat out. He sat out his final year because of COVID. Toxic Falcons says the Eagles will trade one of those first round picks. Yeah, most likely. Most likely. Honestly, here's the thing though, is knowing Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman, here's the thing that other teams fans need to understand. Howie Roseman loves to acquire picks. And so with the 3 first round picks, he has an opportunity to acquire a first round pick in the following year. So this is kind of like it's kind of like the John Dorsey blueprint. I expect him to do that because John Dorsey was with the Eagles for the entire year as a consultant last year. And so I think that they're going to follow a John Dorsey blueprint similar to what he did with the Browns when they traded back with one of their first round picks and acquired another first round pick in the following drafts until they're done with it. Um, that's my opinion. That's what I think they'll do. They did it with Miami last year, obviously. So that's just what I believe is going to happen. And I don't know. I don't think it's going to be with their 14th pick. I don't think they're going to trade back with that one. Currently, it stands at 14. I think it's going to be the one that's currently at 19. So I think they're going to trade back with that one, personally. Doc Falcons says maybe pick 25, but that's the thing too. Is you have they're going to have to balance. They're going to have to balance the value. So 19 and 25, there is a drop off in value. So they could probably, and especially from 14 to 19, and it's crazy. So from 14, if they trade back with the 19th pick, you know, they can probably still acquire. They could probably get a first rounder the following year with the 25th pick. You're kind of bordering in that area of, well, it's kind of almost like a second round pick. And so, what are we really trading up for? What are we really trading for? King says they're going to trade for DK Metcalf. No, they're not. Talks about DK didn't do anything this season. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to give the entire Seattle team a pass this season. I really am, because I think, not the entire team, but I'm going to give their star players a pass this season because I think Russ is still good. Let's not go down this road. Russell Wilson is still a good quarterback. DK Metcalf is still a good wide receiver, regardless of the down season. He's still a good wide receiver. So their good players are still good. They're just having a bad season. But I do want to continue to talk about this draft because the Eagles are going to have to value, well, who's going to be available in a trade? Who do you want to trade for? Are you willing to give one of those first rounders up in a trade, or are you going to want to trade back to continue to acquire draft picks so that you can get more players? That's the thing. So Howie loves to acquire draft picks. And that's why I say I think the Calvin Ridley rumors that kind of makes sense. They need to bring in another wide receiver. Maybe they don't need to draft one. I don't think the fans don't want the Philadelphia Eagles to draft another wide receiver. That's for damn sure. And some people are going towards USC wide receiver Drake Williams. I'm not there because I think his name's Drake Williams. Because 6'5", 213 pounds. Sorry, 213 pounds on a 6'5" frame is too lean for me, my friend. All I see is injury all over that. And I see another guy who cannot get separation, but is great at jump balls. He's great at jump balls. Obviously, he's 6'5". He's 6'5". Some people want to compare him to Mike Evans, and it's like, no, Mike Evans ran like a 4.4 and was also 6'5", 223 coming out of college. There's a bit difference. So King says, I know, bring his ass here, DB. Would have done it for me. Oh boy. Look, no, I would have drafted DK from the get go. I wanted DK from the very get go. We wouldn't be having this conversation if I were making those decisions. Toxic Falcon says Wilson is gone, so they're definitely screwed. Yeah, Wilson most likely is going to leave the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously, he did say, "I hope this isn't my last game in Seattle." But that's kind of window dressing. Honestly, it's window dressing. It's gonna be his last game in Seattle. And then obviously Pete Carroll comes out and says those rumors are not the types of conversations that we've had. Look, they don't need to be. Those things don't need to be addressed publicly if it's not true. And honestly, I think it is time. I think Russell Wilson is going to go somewhere. Just where is the question? And I don't think he's going to go to Seattle, or I don't think he's going to go to Philadelphia. Honestly, I don't think he's going to go to Philadelphia. So, Talks Falcon says Seahawks are drafting a quarterback this year. Yeah, I can see that. Guys, here's the thing is a lot of people might be down on this quarterback draft class, but teams are going to go after these quarterbacks just like they normally do. Just like they normally do. You know what I mean? Like Desmond Ridder could go in the first round. Kenny Pickett could go in the first round. Matt Corral could go in the first round. There's still going to be guys that need to go, okay? Just remember that. It's the most important position in football. And if any one of these guys is the right guy, and if any one of these guys turns out to be a really, really great player, then you're gonna be happy that you got him. Dr. Falcon says some people were talking trash about Kyle Pitts because he had to play 17 games to break the rookie tight end record. Oh, who cares? It's not his fault. It's not his fault that there's 17 games in a season now. It's not his fault. It's not Kyle Pitts' fault. Look, Kyle Pitts is going to be a great tight end. I think we knew that all along. We knew that from the very get-go. We knew that from day one, from when he was drafted. So there's no point. There's no point in having this discussion because he is a good tight end. He's going to continue to be a good tight end. I just wish that they were more diverse in the way that they used him. But that's neither here nor there. It's fine. That's neither here nor there. Guys, here's the thing is, let's just jump back to teams and drafting quarterback this year. There's going to be a few. Pittsburgh is going to be looking for a new quarterback. I could see Pittsburgh drafting Desmond Ridder. I could see Pittsburgh drafting Kenny Pickett. I could see Washington drafting Kenny Pickett. I could see, so let's look at it. So there's Steelers, there's Washington. The Giants might go out and look for a quarterback, and I think that they are going to bring somebody in, and I think they're gonna if David Gettleman is still the dude, then I think they're gonna do it in the first round. The Giants have 2 first-round picks, and I think that they're gonna get a defensive lineman, and I think that they're going to go ahead and get a quarterback. Jonathan Brown says the Eagles suck. Well, if this is the Jonathan Brown that I've known my entire life since childhood, then I would say you're fucking wrong, buddy. But how you doing? Happy Friday. Yeah, so there's Washington that's going to be looking for a quarterback. There's Pittsburgh that's going to be looking for a quarterback. Giants probably going to be looking for a quarterback. We can probably rule out the Eagles, just because I do believe that Jalen Hurts has earned himself another year. That's for damn sure. King says, "Dang the disrespect." No. I've known him my entire life. Nothing but love. Yeah, no. When we were growing up, he always used to say to me, "Eagles suck, just to get on my nerves, And he knew it would piss me off, so that's why he continued to do it. But it was nothing but love for Mr. Jonathan Brown. But yeah, so So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think that some of these guys are gonna go. I think that some of these quarterbacks are definitely gonna go in the first round, and just like other years, So regardless of this being a weak, draft class, comparatively, um, I don't think that the trend is gonna change much. JB says I know zero about football. Well, you know how to get on my nerves about football, so that's at least one tiny tidbit of knowledge there. King says, I got friends who are like that too. Element, laugh my ass off. Yeah, yeah, it's always fun. It's always fun. In all good fun. All in good fun. Wherever the fucking saying goes. You know what I'm saying? So the Eagles play the Cowboys tomorrow. You guys, how you feel about it? The starters might not go. My personal opinion is I think that obviously we don't know if the starters are going to play yet or not, just because it doesn't matter at this point for the Philadelphia Eagles. They've already clinched their playoff berth. Boom, bada boom. I think Nick Sirianni is going to make the decision to play some of them for at least part of the game. And I think Mike McCarthy for the Dallas Cowboys is going to do the same exact thing. So, but we'll see. We will definitely see. Toxic Falcon says, I don't see Eagles winning Sunday. I'll be honest. Toxic Falcon says, Eagles play tomorrow. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. The game was flexed. The game was flexed to prime time tomorrow night, Saturday night. Yeah, the NFL must be pissed. The NFL must be pissed. I'll tell you why. Because now both teams aren't going to play their starters. It's supposed to be usually a game that gets flexed to prime time. They want the stakes to be high. They want everybody at full strength going at it, and now you have Cowboys players dropping off, off like flies, and they just might not play their starters. Toxic Falcon says, I will say, though, Eagles win wild card. That would be nice to get Tom Brady and win that game in the wild card against the Bucks. That would be perfect. That would be perfect for me. And I think that we're going to have some shots. I think we're going to be able to get some successful pressure against Brady with that 5-man front like we talked about before. JB says, Yo, D, your fan is messing with mic quality. Oh, really? Fucking fan. You know what I mean? Fucking fan. JB says, not terrible, but noticeable. Duly noted, my man. I will definitely keep that in the Rolodex of thoughts. The Rolodex of thoughts. Created by yours truly, Jonathan Brown. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. But hey, guys, it was great. It was great having you guys tune in. This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles, King Miro, Toxic Falcons, Mr. JB himself, Jonathan Brown. Thank you guys so much. I will be back on live with you guys tomorrow. I will do a pregame before the game tomorrow, and then after post-game, obviously. So have a good night, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy. One love. Happy Friday. This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles, the DB Talking Now podcast. One love, and go Birds, baby.